Greetings everyone and welcome to Collector Corps. Today we're going to be looking at an update to my Venom collection. Essentially, if you don't know already, I collect Venom merchandise, whether that be action figures, comics, other various memorabilia, badges, stuff like that. And I want to start covering anything that I get, and I won't be covering singular items unless they deserve their own video, which one of these items that we are going to be talking about today does deserve its own video, and I will be covering it in a full review at some point in the future, but I'll get to that when I get to that. But hopefully the audio is alright. I'm of course not at my desk, just because I thought it makes more sense to be a little bit more, free, a little bit open, just to be able to move things around and stuff like that, and have a little bit more leeway in terms of space. So, yeah, I've got a bunch of different things to look at: some Funko Pop, some Hot Wheels, Marvel Legends, a comic, and a figure that I don't know the origin of, so we might find that out in this video, I don't know. But, you know what, let's start with that kind of mystery item. So, right here we have a good old Agent Venom. This is actually the first Agent Venom item that I own, and I picked it up at a market, but it's more like a car boot sale. And I'm really, really happy with this thing. It's not the most, interesting thing in the world, it's not the most detailed. It has enough detail to tell what's actually happening with it. But at the end of the day, it's an Agent Venom figure, it's an Agent Venom statue type figure. Does it have a brand on it? That's copyright Marvel, it does have something on it. Copyright Disney Vietnam, so I don't know if that's going to pick up on camera, but yeah, Disney Vietnam, so it doesn't have an actual proper brand, but that probably means it's actually from Disney Store, which I know they have done a bunch of these sorts of figures for various lines. Wasn't aware of a Marvel one, never mind an Agent Venom version of it, but yeah, very, very cool to have a Agent Venom figure, a character I do really enjoy, especially, I can't remember the actual name of that host, but the female host in, which series was it? I can't remember. One of the comic series, there's a female host for Agent Venom, and I really do like her stories. Specifically, this is probably Brock's version, though. Either way, I mean, Space Venom as well, Space Agent Venom, very cool. Agent Anti-Venom as well. A lot of agent stuff that is just really, really good. But, yeah, Agent Venom, very cool to add him to my collection. Okay, what should we go for next? I think I'll try and keep things to a theme, so we'll do Hot Wheels next. Once again, just like with Venom stuff, if you know me, you'll know that I collect Batmobiles and a few other choice Hot Wheels stuff like the Mario Kart items, and that does mean I look a lot at the Hot Wheels. I saw this and I knew that I needed it for the Venom collection. It is a Sandblaster, Hot Wheels original vehicle, I assume, that is styled with Venom stuff. So there's Venom on the side there, it says Venom right there, and there's also, if you can make that out, the Venom logo on the front. I do have one other Venom Hot Wheel, and it's a Venomized Hulk monster truck. So this is the first, regular Venom Hot Wheels car that I have, and yeah, it's pretty neat. I'm debating whether to keep it on card back or not. I didn't keep the Venomized Hulk on card back. I don't tend to keep them on card back either. It's just not something that I'm a huge fan of doing. But I might do, just because I like the art. It's pretty standard Venom art with the Spider-Man logo. But yeah, it is pretty good. But yeah, very happy to add yet another Hot Wheels to my collection. And to my Venom collection at that. So very, very cool. We'll get it out of the way. Venomized. I have not read this yet. I don't know when I'll get a chance to, but another Venom comic. I like all the crossover ones, so Venomized is a very good series for me. I think I picked this up. It must have been at W.H. Smith's, I think. Either that or Waterstones, though I don't tend to go Waterstones that often. But yeah, they had it at a decent price wherever I got it, because I don't pay full price for comics anymore. And yeah, I knew I had to have it. Venomized is a great series from what I've heard about it. In terms of, what I've actually read is very little. I know that a lot of Maximum Venom sort of stuff, this sort of thing, comes from that. A lot of the crossover stuff, things like the Venomized Hulk that I have as a Hot Wheel, stuff like that is all from this comic. So it's good to have the actual comic. I'm going to read through this. I still need to read through King in Black, to be fair, which we'll get into in a minute. But yeah, it's just another comic for the collection. Venom, the fact that he has so many comic series is great for me because it means I have a lot to read, but it also basically means that I'm constantly finding new stuff that interests me and not getting around to the other stuff that I already have. So, Venomized, I picked it up. I don't know when I'll get to it. There's also Venom Island that I need to get around to. There's so much Venom comic-wise that I need to get around to. I don't know when it's going to happen, but that's another one for the collection. Okay, I'm going to save the Legends for last, so I guess we'll go through the 3 different Funko Pops. So, I guess we'll start with the one that's out of box. I got Venomized Gwenpool, not Gwenpool, Gwen, no, what is her name? What is the actual Ghost Spider? SpiderGwen, Spider-Woman from Earth 2987? Like, who is she? She's, I know she's the Ultimates like crossover and stuff. Like there's so much stuff with Spider-Gwen, but in any case, this is a Venomized Spider-Gwen. I never got around to picking up the Marvel Legends version of her. I really wanted that Marvel Legends figure for a very long time. I just can't find it at a decent enough price. But I was looking around, and at one of the cash converters that I frequent, they had this as well as the next thing we're going to look at. Out of box, how much actually was it? I think it was £3, £2.99, yeah. So, an absolute steal, even though it's out of box. I don't collect in box anyway. I do tend to keep boxes for Venom figures, but yeah, classic bobblehead, Funko stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of Funko in general. I do mostly get Funko when it comes to odd characters that are difficult to get figures of, and then Venom stuff. So, yeah, a fine addition to my Venom pop collection. Really excited to have this one. And as I said, I also, while I was at this cash converter, got Venomized Ironheart, new in box, limited special edition version. I don't know what's special about her specifically, but I'm a huge Ironheart fan. Very excited for her debut in the MCU in Wakanda Forever. And yeah, it's a Venomized version of Ironheart. I would never get a regular Ironheart Funko Pop, but I kind of had to when it was a Venomized version. I'm still looking for all of these, by the way. I really need that Captain Marvel. The Doctor Strange is high up on my list. Miles Morales and Venomized Groot, I can tick it or leave it. I'm not overly sold on either of those designs, but that Doctor Strange and the Captain Marvel, top tier Funko Pops from the Venomized or Maximum Venom series, so definitely on the lookout for those. But yeah, it's not mint, and there's a little bit of damage there. As I say, I don't really care too much because all I do is stack them sideways with that key art, and then I actually display the actual pop themselves outside the box. So as long as I can remove that and the one in the back, I'll be pretty happy. As you can see, $6.99. So a bit over double the price of Ghost Spider over there, but yeah, honestly, for it being a limited edition or special edition, whatever, stickered figure and a character I really do love, I had to. I had to splurge a little bit on there. And that leaves us with one more Funko Pop, and this one I actually bought new, and that is the Mech Strike Monster Hunters Venom. And I'm just going to put it out there, I have no clue about what Mech Strike Monster Hunters is. I know there was also a different Mech Strike before that. I don't know anything about them. I've been trying to hunt down as much of the Monster Hunter Venom stuff as possible. It's really difficult because even though they've produced a bunch of it, the Funko Pop is the only thing that's like widely available. But yeah, it's a 4-armed Venom, a bit more monstrous than usual. I don't really know what Mech Strike or Monster Hunter are in this context, but it's a bigger Venom. It's, it's a bluish Venom as well. I don't know. I think it's really cool. I ended up getting this from Smith's Toy Superstore at full price, at full retail, so $11.99, I believe. And honestly, like, yeah, it's a Venom figure. I had to get it. I had been watching it for months because this came out like last year. I'm pretty sure this line. It doesn't get discounted. I've seen every other line that's come out since this one get a discount, especially at Smiths, because Smiths are really good for discounting their pops. Mech Strike just doesn't. Mech Strike, Monster Hunter especially, none of them are cheaper. Because I've been looking at the Green Goblin as well from this line. I think he's on the box. Yeah, the Green Goblin as well as the Doctor Doom. I can't read it and I'm like blanking on his name. But yeah, Doctor Doom. I've been looking at those two for ages, trying to find them for like anything less than £7, and I can't. I can only find them at retail price at RRP, which is really annoying because I don't want to pay full price for characters I don't actively collect, but their designs are so good. But yeah, Venom, I needed to get him, so I was better off getting him now while he's still RRP compared to waiting. And sure, I may have gotten cheaper, but I also may have had to spend 20, 30, 40, maybe more, depending on the popularity of Mech Strike. Because I know Mech Strike has been a big deal. I know there's a comic line for it. I just don't want to risk losing out on this character, on this design for the character. So it's one of those things. I'm not happy that I spent full price on this, but I have it now and I don't have to worry about it anymore. And speaking of which, I have had this for way too long, and I still have yet to review it. I picked this up, or rather, I pre-ordered it the day it was announced. The day it went up for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse, I ordered it. Because I had to. It's the King in Black set with Null and, like, enlightened Venom with his wings. It's such a good set, and it's also my first that is windowless. I wasn't expecting that initially. I did see after I'd pre-ordered it that was what they were using, but I haven't actually had any of these closed off boxes, so I'm really hoping that Null looks right. Venom's going to look right regardless. I have no issues with that. That's going to look fine. Null's face, if there's any issues with it, I'm going to be so annoyed. Because as I say, I've had this for a while now. I definitely can't return it anymore. I need Null to be good. Null is the main reason I got this. Because obviously I have so many Venoms, especially Marvel Legends. And I actually prefer the Diamond Select figures anyway for Venom. So Null was the main reason to get this. And if that figure has any issues at all, I'm going to be so annoyed at myself. Not at Hasbro, because Hasbro are doing the best. Well, most of the time. But yeah, once again, not a mint box, because it is damaged. Right there, dented right on top. That was as it came out of the box as well, which is really annoying. Hasbro, step up your packing game. That is something I will complain about Hasbro for. But yeah, this will be getting its own full review. I am very backlogged right now with a few things, but there's a few more weeks left of the pre-recorded stuff. Hopefully at some point in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll get a chance to actually record some reviews, and this will probably be high up in the totem pole. Probably actually the next thing after all the pre-recorded stuff is done, because I want to see this figure. I need to know if this Null is actually good, because I've seen a few reviews already of it from a few different people, and oh, I love him. I love him so much. The Venom is also great. It's a different Venom to any of the ones that I have, so I'm very excited. And yeah, that's really it when it comes to what I've got. And this is over the last, I think, 3 months, 2.5 months, 3 months, something like that, of collecting Venom stuff. I don't collect it as actively as I used to, mostly because I have a lot of the common stuff. So this is what you can kind of expect from these future videos of me kind of just finding things, adding them up, and then doing a video with anywhere between 5 and 10 items, probably. You know, here we've got, 7 items. So this is the kind of thing you can expect. I'll probably try and keep it a little bit more varied than this, you know, a little bit less on the Funko Pop side. Try and keep it to like just odd 1 or 2 things from each brand. But at the end of the day, I think this is varied enough. And yeah, otherwise that's going to be really it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like it, subscribe if you're new to it, and ring that bell so you never miss an upload. Otherwise, tell me below, do you collect Venom? Do you collect Marvel characters in general? Are you interested in seeing more of my collection, whether that be full tours of the collection, full breakdowns of it, tier lists, anything like that? Do let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!